6:41 now on a Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us here on Good Day Columbia. Now, Lou Gehrig's disease strikes over 5,500 people each year. Sadly, only half of those who are diagnosed live 3 years past that diagnosis date. You know, ALS is a disease that affects nerve cells in the brain and the spinal cord, and it leaves the victim unable to control the movement of their muscles. Here in South Carolina, there's over 450 people who live with ALS every day at any given time. Now, the South Carolina A.L.S. Association was founded in 2006. Since then, they've impacted over 413 families. And from the A.L.S. from South Carolina, please welcome Katie Shank.
Hi.
Hey, good morning. Let's talk a little bit about ALS. I mean, I did mention that it affects, you know, your muscular system and your spinal cord. But really, what happens?
Right. Well, basically, it's a fatal neuromuscular disease that affects the brain and spinal cord. So essentially what happens is your motor neurons start to atrophy. So eventually a person loses the ability to walk, speak, swallow, and eventually breathe. And the sad part about it is that the mind remains unaffected. So the person realizes what's going on in their body, but has no ability to control anything.
That's almost like a prison sentence, because it's not like Alzheimer's, some other diseases where you may not know. I mean, that's got to be horrible to say, I want to move my arm, and it just sits there.
Right, exactly. And the person loses that ability, but you know, your brain is, you know, trying to tell your body to move, but is unable to.
Any idea on causes or behaviors that can lead to it?
We don't now know. We don't have a cause or cure at the moment. We do know that there's a high military correlation.
Interesting.
People who have served in the military are about 60% more likely to be diagnosed with ALS. I'm sure of the cause. It's kind of unknown. We don't know if it's something with chemicals, something with shots that they're given before they go overseas. We really don't know. There's so many different factors. It's such a strange disease that we really just don't know.
Right. Of course, Lou Gehrig, named for Lou Gehrig, baseball player who was the first person actually diagnosed with it, and he lived after his diagnosis. I think he lived 2 more years.
Right. And the average lifespan is about 2 to 5 years after diagnosis.
Well, the good news is that there are folks who are trying to raise money, and of course, caregivers and whatnot, and there's a lot of support out there, including the A.L.S. South Carolina. Now, on Saturday, there's a walk. Yes,
sir. On Saturday, April 21st at Riverfront Canal Park, we're having our annual Walk to Defeat ALS. It's our 4th annual walk we've had in Columbia. So the walk starts at 10 a.m. and registration will start at 9. And it's just a really fun day for everyone to come out and show awareness and raise money for ALS. It's such an awful disease, but we really try to make it a positive day where people can come out and show support for their loved ones who are going through this.
So it's Saturday morning. So you spend Saturday walking with ALS. You have all afternoon to do whatever you want to do at the house, but you come out and help raise money, support, and awareness for this disease. Scary stuff, you know, because you just never know. You don't know who it's going to strike. It's not like a behavior. Lung cancer, if you smoke a lot of cigarettes, yeah, you might get it.
Right.
But something like ALS, you just don't know that it's going to happen. And every 90 minutes, someone is struck with it. Every 90 minutes, someone dies. So scary stuff. All right, Miss Katie, thank you so much for coming in this morning. And coming up, guys, in a little bit, we're actually going to meet one soldier who actually has ALS. You're going to get a chance to see really. It's coming up in a few minutes. Well, it's a wild weather day in the Lone Star State. And after the break, we've got some video you do not want to miss.